2, 1. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to License to View. This is a podcast on the internet where two best friends get together to talk about pop culture news. I'm Jason, that's Zach. Zach, what's going on, man?
Oh, just another busy week here at the Grieger household of one.
By busy, you mean what? You mean YouTube anime girls? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, kind of. There's a lot of translated clips out there that I've been watching and getting into. I don't know, dude. I think it's the same way. I mean, not to get into this shit again, but I feel like it's the same. I feel like it's a similar thing of like trying to think of a good equivalent to it. Of like people just watch it because just like it's fucking cute, like animal vids almost. I don't know. They're just cute.
But there's the extra level.
Yeah.
That does make it creepy. Like here's. Did you ever watch Perfect Blue?
I did watch Perfect Blue.
Okay, I'm not saying you're that guy. I'm not saying that.
I'm definitely But that
guy exists.
That guy definitely exists in Japan, and there was one VTuber who worked for HoloLive a couple of weeks ago who had to graduate, which is basically them saying that they're leaving the company because I think the whole thing behind it was that she'd originally like tested out her avatar or something like that just to like make sure everything was working or whatnot. I'm not sure who exactly was on it, but like she forgot to delete the stream, and some of those fans like found it and was like basically like badgering her and belittling her because like she messed up. And all the English people are like, what the fuck, dude? Like, leave her alone. Like, it's a mistake. Like, we all make mistakes. But I mean, we kind of know this because Perfect Blue and stuff like that. But like Japan's like idol culture and like their pop culture, the way they like treat their stars is like fucking insane. Like, they're the most vicious people on the fucking planet.
Well, I lived in Japan, right, for 4 years, and I was too young to really like get like idol stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember walking through Tokyo being like, okay, there's an abundance of little girls in glass cases. And later on in life, when I saw Perfect Blue, I was like, oh, okay. Like, it made sense to me. Like, it's the same thing that's happening with K-pop, or that's been happening with K-pop.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be on your game. If you're not the character in the group, there is a problem. Like,
I think that's one of the biggest things about VTubers, though, is that because, I mean, they are essentially like idols almost in like the way that they treat them, but they're not like, I think the thing that's more endearing about them is that they're not just like prim perfect people. Like, they like fuck up and like they have like real personality traits and stuff like that like makes them more relatable than just like regular idols, at least to like English people. I think that's why English people in the Western audience has like grabbed onto them so much, because they have like real personalities and they just like I mean, they're streaming, so they're like, it'd be impossible to keep up like a prim perfect character like 8 hours a day, like 5 days a week.
Let me ask you this, because I do not know. Has Last Podcast, ever done episodes on that guy in Japan who like killed those girls like in the 90s? You know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know if they did. They've definitely not done like a mainline episode on it. They might have done maybe like a side stories, but I haven't listened to a side story in a long time.
This is a tangent, but not really, because it's related to like otaku culture.
I know they did the yandere killer, the girl that killed her boyfriend.
No. This is a guy who I'd never heard before until like yesterday or 2 days ago.
Okay.
I was watching a YouTube video from a anime YouTuber named Bonsai Pop.
Okay.
He was doing a video on I think it was either like Fist of the North Star or Saint Seiya. One of those two that I was watching. And they're talking about like, I think it was Saint Seiya, about how like Saint Seiya created like the yaoi culture. And that was really popular in the late 80s or whatever. And then apparently like, in the late 80s to 90s, there was like a serial killer who was like this horror fan, creepy, like typical Perfect Blue looking guy.
Yeah.
Who like killed a bunch of little girls and like raped their, like had sex with their dead bodies or whatever,
Jesus.
And that was like the big moral panic that was like, hey, you know what? Otaku culture is bad. Do not be a otaku,
Yeah.
or don't be an anime fan. I never heard of it before, and I was like trying to like desperately find episodes of podcasts that explain it, because
I
to me
know that there
that's
was
insane to me.
I know there was one. I don't know if it's that same person. It probably isn't. But I remember I was listening to an episode of Trash Taste a couple of weeks ago, and Giga was talking about
No.
one of the guys that I think he originally like.
No,
It was like
this is not
yeah.
the same guy.
Yeah, but there was like a similar type of, I don't know if it was similar, but it was, in that culture of like otaku fan or something like that. But there was like and Connor had a similar thing where they both had like people that they knew in like the beginning of the industry, and they both ended up being like terrible people. Like the guy that Connor knew was like a pedophile, and the one that Giguk knew, I think he was like I think he did a couple of, or he was a big, or Giguk didn't know him. I think he was like a big, I think he was one of the first big anime YouTubers, but it was like he ended up like killing his family and then killing himself. Yeah, it was like,
I sent you the guy's name in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'd never heard of him before until this guy mentioned it in this YouTube video, and I was like, this needs to be on Last Podcast. And I actually googled the Last Podcast Reddit, and people in the Reddit were like, they need to cover this. Like, this is like right up the alley of Last Podcast. This is like the equivalent of like, saying like Columbine was done because the guys played Doom and like Marilyn Manson. This is like the equivalent. Like, so Japan like took this guy's like house apart and found so much like horror anime or horror films or slasher films or, and then like and obviously he acted on those things. But it's like, this scared apparently scared from what I was reading Wikipedia, apparently like scared the country into like, don't like anime too much.
Yeah.
Don't like it too much, because
if
you do, we're gonna like look at you as though this fucking like you're a fucking weirdo. Like like Perfect
Blue.
Yeah. Like Perfect Blue.
Yeah.
So besides that, what else have you been up to?
I totally get that. It's been a pretty busy week for me. I mean, the biggest thing that I did was that I play a lot of Captain Tsubasa. I think it's called Rise of the Champions. I can't remember. I just call it Captain Tsubasa. New soccer game released, I think, only a couple weeks ago now. Fuck, dude, I love playing this game. This game is so much fucking fun.
Right.
God damn. I haven't had this fun. I was talking to my coworker about this a little bit, because I told him that I bought this game because we talk about games a little bit. But I was just like, I haven't had this much fun playing a game since like a sports game that is, since like fucking like NBA Street, like Volume 2.
Right.
Like, or like SSX Tricky. Like, it has been a long time since I've had just like this fun playing a sports game. Right. And I think it's partly because just, it has that like anime thing to it.
It's not real sports.
Yeah, well honestly that's fun for me. I like the like, and I mean, you got the super crazy like shots where you've got like the fucking ultra mega shots that you have to like charge up, and they're like instant goals, and then you've got, the biggest thing for me is that you've got like dribble moves that you can do, and if you do 2 in a row, it gives you like a short little cutscene that's like you like zooming past your opponent and shit like that, and it just like looks so fucking rad. I love it. I love playing it. I did the original like tutorial, which is you playing as Tsubasa as they're like going through the middle school league, and then the road after that is like, I assume it's supposed to be like the main storyline, which is you going into you create your own character, you go on like the All-Star Japan team, and you face a bunch of different youth teams from like across the globe and shit like that. So I'm digging through that right now.
Isn't there a new anime for that?
I don't know if there is. I feel like there should be, because clearly they've updated the visuals from even the anime from back in the day, and the game looks really, really fucking good. I mean, it's still got that classic, like, it's almost got like a Toriyama drawing to some of the characters, I feel like, especially in like their facial structures. I'm pretty sure Toriyama didn't draw this, but it's got a similar type of look.
There was anime last year.
Was there? Okay.
52 episodes.
Sense. Interesting. I don't know why I didn't see that.
It came out in 2018, elementary school arc all the way up to middle school arc, probably high school, middle school.
Interesting. I don't know how I missed that. That was just like completely not on my radar. I don't even remember seeing it. But I'll have to check that out.
I've never. Yeah, I think I mentioned last week when we talked about Tsubasa. I've never read it. I love sports manga. I never. The only soccer manga that I've read is Night in the Area no Kishi, something like that. I think I read a couple other ones that were big, not old ones, like 2000s.
Yeah.
I just don't really care about soccer that much. But when you look at like the list of like most popular of all time Shonen Jump, weekly Shonen Jump manga, like Tsubasa's always on there. I just never read it.
Well, it's like that, and like it's like Tsubasa, Hajime, and then what? Probably like Slam Dunk. Maybe Eye Shield
for sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, Slam Dunk. I don't know if Ippo's in Shonen Jump.
Again, Eye Shield's
but
up there.
The big one would also be again, it's about it's not even week Shonen Jump, but just manga, sports manga in general.
Yeah.
Yes, Ippo, Tsubasa, Slam Dunk, Haikyuu now.
Haikyuu's
Kuroko
good.
now, Giant Killing, and then I would probably say like the Major, which is a big Major. Like Tsubasa follows Tsubasa from middle school, elementary school through high school or whatever it is. Like Major follows the baseball player from preschool all the way up to pros.
Okay.
So like it's like his life.
Yeah.
So those are all big ones.
Okay.
I've read half of those maybe. And
okay.
Pretty much all the basketball ones I've read.
Okay.
Most of the baseball ones I've read. I haven't read like Rookies or anything like that. Soccer ones, maybe two.
Have you read Eye Shield though?
No, I never read Eye Shield.
That's like the only football one, right?
That's the only one I can think of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never read Eye Shield because I just didn't think that I would enjoy. I like the art a lot. I just didn't think that I would enjoy it.
The art is the thing that's always attracted me to it because I like the character designs for it a lot. And I know one of the guys in the anime group that I'm in, he just finished reading Eye Shield. I think he read it again, or maybe it was his first time, but he really enjoyed it. So that made me think that maybe it's something that I would enjoy. But yeah,
maybe, but like, it's hard for me to, and it's maybe just my stigma of being like an actual American, where I'm like, okay, are they gonna really get football? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But also it's because like maybe it's because I lived there and like their dudes are only so big.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's the big thing in the That's the big thing in like in playing the game Tsubasa is like you go to the international tournament and it's like Japanese people are like the smallest people on the fucking field and like the big thing is like you start off the game and it's like you start off and you have a couple of scrimmages and your first scrimmage again is like the USA team. And all the players are like the buffest fucking dudes you've ever seen in your entire life. Yeah. Where usually on the Japan team, there's like two big guys.
Yeah.
And then you look at the USA team, and their striker is like as big as like a defender from Japan.
Yeah. And obviously, I'm generalizing in terms of manga.
Yeah.
Well, it's like why when I was like I read like Slam Dunk, I'm like, listen, I'm not saying it's impossible to have a guy who's 6'7". Obviously, it's possible. But if you, like, in Kuroko, when they're like, yeah, we're going to play USA, I'm like, dude, you're going to get wrecked. Like, if you didn't have anime powers, like, there's just, I'm sorry. It's just like, any other team.
All you have to do is look at the Olympics.
Like, any other country can find the 6'9", 7'3" guys. But maybe the Philippines, because the Philippines love basketball for some reason. Like, the national sport of the Philippines is fucking basketball. I don't understand. Like, my cousins who all live there fucking love it. Love basketball. And I'm like, yo, you're 5'5". I'm sorry. Like, you can maybe fade away. You can maybe fade jump shot, but you really can't. Because if you come over here, you're gonna get bodied.
You're gonna get fucking stuck.
You're gonna get bodied by the fucking 5th grader who is 6'3". You know, he's already recruited for fucking high school. You're gonna get bodied. So you're playing that, and that's fun.
Yes. So I'm playing that. That's super fun. I'm having a lot of fun with that. Just driving through the story mode. I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is that, like, I mean, the story's interesting for me, but it's a lot of like visual novel shit where it's just like I'm just pressing X, and I'm kind of at the point where I'm like having more fun playing the game than I am like listening to the story. I mean, like, the story's interesting, but like for me, when I'm like playing this kind of game, I don't know, it's like monkey brain kicks in. I'm just like, I just want to play the game, and I'm like, I mean, I'm reading the story, but I'm kind of like just skipping through it as fast as I possibly can. But there's so much text box shit in between. And like, especially like going through this and like the main way that you like get new moves and like new shots and stuff like that is like, there's like friendship cards or some shit. You gotta like level up the relationship with other players to like get their moves and stuff like that. But like each one of those is like also its own cutscene. I'm like, fuck, dude, I just want to like get to the next fucking game at this point. I want to fucking take on the Netherlands. It's like, god damn it.
Right.
But besides that, it's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with that. I don't know if I'll ever go online because I'll probably get bodied. But I like playing off against the computers. So I'm doing that. Reading a couple manga.
Okay.
Speaking of sports stuff, this is sports related. I'm reading.
You're reading Car No Go.
No.
Do you remember that shit?
I remember that shit on Toonami, and I never understood it because I still don't understand Go. And I was like, what is this? Like, is it chess? For me, I was seeing that shit. I was seeing that commercial when I was like in 4th or 5th grade. And I was like, I don't get this. Is this like fucking chess? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't.
Or it was like checkers to me. And I was like, I don't get it. And then I think I watched like a half an episode one time because I was waiting for something else to come on, probably Naruto. And there was like a ghost, and I was like, I don't understand. Like, why is there a ghost when
like
you're playing checkers? Yeah, it's like, there's like spirits and shit like that. It was like,
he's like inhabited by like a famous Go player or something.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't understand. Like, why is there ghosts? I thought they were
popular. Apparently, it's really popular.
Yeah, well, Go's is super popular in Japan.
Yeah,
so.
I never understood it. I remember
buying
American.
I think I read like I watched like a YouTube video that it was like a cross between like checkers and chess, and I was like, that doesn't sound like things that are compatible.
I remember when I was a kid when they used to release the American monthly Shonen Jump, whatever. And I always had a subscription to it, even though I barely ever read it. All I ever read was like Dragon Ball and like Naruto. That's all I ever read. And they drag that shit out. They would fucking put Dragon Ball in that shit for forever if they could, until they stopped releasing it physically. But so I would get it monthly, and I would open it up, and there's like Prince of Tennis and all the kind of like the big ones that were in Shonen Jump at the time. And they would Hikaru no Go was in it. And I remember like looking at the page, and I was like, how can you make this exciting? And I'm sure you can. I'm sure they did.
Well, I'm sure it's that non-battle battle manga shit.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like that. You know that gambling manga, like Kaiji?
Kaiji?
Yeah.
People fucking love Kaiji,
I'm sure it's like that, but like in my mind as a fucking 12-year-old, I'm like, how can you make like fucking like putting the fucking thing down on the board exciting?
Well, it's like the shit. It was the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, how the fuck do you making cards
down?
Putting cards down exciting. You fucking make giant fucking monsters come out.
Because they have not only that, and they have fucking like the fucking dual disc.
They get the dual disc, and then you get the fucking Shadow Realm shit where you fucking are literally dying if you lose.
Did you watch a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh?
I watched a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't remember because I remember there's shit with like American stuff and all that. I don't remember any of that shit. I watched a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh up to Duelist City, and then I watched all of Yu-Gi-Oh GX. I fucking loved Yu-Gi-Oh.
So GX. I watched pretty much all Yu-Gi-Oh up until GX.
I love GX so much.
In the first season, before they had the modernized rules, Kaiba made the pre-dual disc. Do you remember what it looked like?
Yeah, it was like he had it in a suitcase, and it was like he literally like threw a disc out.
You threw it, and then it'd come back to you. But I'm like, can you imagine how fucking annoying that'd be to have to constantly every move put shit down and throw it back out? Like, dude, fuck that. And then it would project from the disc.
That's why it was a prototype, though.
That's why it was a prototype.
Then you got the fucking sick ass wrist shit.
But also,
that was like dope as fuck.
Did it in Duelist City? I'm pretty sure this is what happens. They don't really show it that much after the first couple times. Doesn't the fucking dual disc fire out the projectors? Does it literally shoot out from the dual disc into the crowd?
I don't remember that. I think
it does.
I think maybe it does for the first two ones, but then I think there was something where it was like, I feel like there was something that Kaiba did, or there was some like exposition from Kaiba where it was like this entire city was made so that no matter where you are, you can duel wherever, or some fucking dog shit. Where there's like projectors all over the town.
But I swear, like the first time Yugi uses it, it like shoots out, like it fly. Like...
That would make sense because I'm pretty sure before they like eject it, like other than the graveyard button, I think there's like another hole in it where it would like make sense that there's like projectors that fire out or something.
That's the one thing I wanted in life was like...
I wanted a real dual disc.
Well, I wanted like, okay, I want to live in a world where if I just started dueling in the middle of the city, people are like, yeah, it's business, it's business.
Yeah.
Like, it's the equivalent of like when I was younger, I was like, I want to be walking through the crowd, and like bump someone in the shoulder, and they get pissed at me and they go, "Man, you want a blade?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I do." And
let her rip.
we let her rip, and we're just Beyblading across the fucking buildings, you know.
Well, you know what it is nowadays.
What is it?
You gotta fucking Bakugan brawl. That's you gotta fucking roll some weird fucking spherical shit that I don't understand. I don't know.
I've never.
You remember Duel Masters?
Oh yeah.
You remember how shit? I don't remember not liking that.
I played the game. The game was. I never watched the game, but I played the game.
I remember the art looked cool, but I think I tried to play it once, and the rules were like such dog shit.
It's a combination of like the best way I can explain it, and I'm probably still off base here. Was like it pulled a lot from like Magic. Like you tapped your mana, you tapped your land, that kind of stuff. And you had like shields, I believe.
Interesting.
So it was more like that than it was Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
So
interesting.
But you see, you're reading some manga.
Yes. So the sports manga I'm reading is called All Around a Meguru. It is an MMA MMA manga where it's basically guy starts off. I mean, like as amateur you can get in mixed martial arts, doing like regional tournaments and stuff like that. I'm just liking it so far. I mean, the whole thing is that he's just not very good, but he's a quick learner. I'm assuming he still doesn't have like. There's not like.
How confused were you in the first 2 fucking chapters?
So confused.
Because I remember I read the
don't...
first 2 chapters. I was like, who the fuck? Which one is who?
Yeah.
Like, is Meguru the guy that has the gangster family or not? I don't fucking remember.
No,
I can't tell.
Meguru
it's the other guy.
Yeah.
But they do. The artist.
Well, they make a better distinction later on because then he gets the gangster tattoos, and I'm like, okay, that's the one.
But like in the first chapter, I'm like, which one leaves? Like I don't remember.
I don't know. I was thinking about it, and also I don't know. The characterization for it's kind of weird because then he's like, he's going through the amateur leagues and he's like getting better and he like wants to do MMA, but he's like, I don't know. It's weird because I mean I'm only like 70 chapters in, but it's like for the first like 40 or 50, he's like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't even know if I want to like go to college or whatever. Or blah 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 blah. I guess I'll do MMA, and then he's like got this weird like out of nowhere determination to like win every match, and I'm like, I don't understand this. Like you're this aimless character, but all of a sudden you have this like weird determination that you're like not gonna give up at all, and I don't understand where it came from, and it's very weird and confusing. And then you also have the flashback where he's like, where his best friend's like, I just want to be strong, and he's like, well, why don't you just buy a gun? And I was like, you are fucking like practicing martial arts. Like what the fuck are you talking about?
I didn't get that far in it. I think I only got like the first like. I got to the point really early when like the girl decides she wants to start training.
Oh, the kickboxer?
MMA, where she decides to go over. So I got that far, and I was reading it because I wanted to read combat MMA that was not Baki.
Yeah.
Or that was not.
That's kind of what I like
Asura.
In the sense of reading one like this where there's no like weird, shonen powers or anything like that. It's just like they're doing martial arts. They're doing real moves. They like are explaining how the moves work. And so I like that bit. I
like it. I don't really love the art.
Yeah, the art's something a little bit to be desired. Especially like, I think the thing that like is getting me the most is that like the character designs are like very bland. They're like, I mean, I get it because it's like. I get it in the sense that like I feel like it's trying to be like very grounded, and so they're not like there's not a bunch of weird looking character designs. So then the fact that like you've got like the girl character who's like obscenely tall, for a girl. So I mean that's kind of weird, but it's still like grounded in the fact that she's just the way she was born, and there are other girls that are like kind of her size, but like are bigger in like different ways.
Yeah.
So I mean I get from that aspect, but I don't know. It's gotten to the point where it's like I can pick out Meguru and I can pick out the one guy because he's got the tattoos, and I can pick out the one guy because he's got glasses. But all the other characters are like, I don't know. I get them confused very, very easily, and it's very hard to tell like who's who.
Yeah, I get that.
So
are you gonna keep reading it or no?
Yeah, I'll probably keep reading it. I mean, from what I've seen, it's only got like 140 chapters, so I'm already halfway through it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just like push through it.
You should just read Ippo.
Yeah, I probably should. I want to read Ippo. I want to read like Baki, or watch Baki. I'm not sure. I know that they have the 2 seasons of Baki on Netflix, but I know that there's also like because I think the Baki on Netflix like skips ahead a bunch in the story and like jumps to like some weird random part. And I don't know. I don't like going into stories like that. Like I like starting from the beginning and pushing forward.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll read it, and then once I get to that part, maybe I'll start watching it. I don't
I
know.
think that you should read Ippo because it's well, one, it's the quintessential
Yeah.
combat manga. One, it looks great. Like it never looks bad. Like
Yeah.
his art style is really great. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like it's very classic, and um, it is just fights. Like
Yeah.
there's through line stories for each fighter. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
like the between each fighter's story there, but like
Right.
it's never like. And then there's obviously a ton. And I'm not up to date, so I can't speak. I can only speak for the first 15 years, maybe 10 years of Ippo.
Okay.
But I'm constantly impressed with the art. I'm constantly
Is Evo
impressed.
still going on?
Yeah, it's still going on.
Fuck, dude.
He's not fighting anymore. I think he has CTE.
Okay.
I think he's a coach now, which is good to me. Like it's the mangaka being like, this is the reality of boxing.
Yeah.
Ippo has been boxing since he was like 15,
Mm-hmm.
so he is fucked up now. Like
Yeah.
he has to take a step back, or else he's. And I think I was reading the Wikipedia because no, they fans keep track of wins and losses. Like every fight
Mm-hmm.
has a record there,
Mm-hmm.
and I think like he lost like his last 3 fights, so like they're like, yeah, we're gonna call it. You're retiring. You're gonna be a
Yeah.
coach or something. You're gonna And he went pro, and he's been the champion, and all this kind of stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a good. You're gonna start from the bottom, and you're gonna move up, and then we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna like you'll go through trials and tribulations and all that jazz. I really like it,
Mm-hmm.
at least from where I'm at.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
what's the other mangas you've been reading?
The only other thing is I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I caught up with it, which is Spy Family,
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is a new-ish Shonen Jump series. It's only like 32 chapters in or something like that. It's great. I fucking love it. I mean, it's just a family dynamic where the father's like a super spy, the mom's an assassin, and then the daughter's a psychic. And it's all based around the fact that the father's a super spy, and so as he's trying to infiltrate this country, he has to make a family so he can blend in. And then the mom wants a family because she thinks that she's going to be sent off to the secret police because she's never been in a relationship with before, and so she was super scared that she was going to get called into the secret police, even though her brother ends up being in the secret police. So it's like that never would have fucking happened. Your brother would never have let you like be sent away. He's like one of the
Right.
top secret police people. But she's in that for that, and then it turns into like she doesn't want her brother to worry instead of like not being in the secret police. And then the little girl just wants a family because she was experimented on. She has psychic powers and all that kind of stuff, and it's just super wholesome and fun. I like it a lot, so I caught up with that. It's a lot of fun.
Cool.
That was the main stuff. I watched Jurassic Park again because I
Yeah.
wanted to get some classic. Still great. Still fucking love it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I have a couple things as well
Okay. Right
that
on.
I will hit you with. The first thing I did this past week was I rewatched Prisoners.
Okay.
Um,
I've never watched it.
it's great. My girlfriend wanted to watch a movie. She said to me,
Oh wait. Wait a second.
It's the Dennis movie.
Oh, I've seen that. I
Yeah.
got confused. I don't know why. You said Prisoners, and I was like, oh, he's talking about Prison Break. I've never
No,
seen
no, no,
Prison
no, no,
Break.
no. I hate Prison Break.
No, Prisoners. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I love Prisoners.
My girlfriend
It's
was
great.
like, I want to watch a movie that's kind of like Gone Girl. I was like, okay. And
Prisoners.
she
Yeah.
was showing me, we were watching a couple trailers for some upcoming movies. There was one movie coming out which was like about a girl who like swallows shit. She's in a marriage and she's like not happy, so she like swallows stuff. I was like, that I don't fucking care. It's like an indie
I've
movie.
never
Obviously.
heard of that. Never
It's
heard
called
of
like
that.
Swallow, or it's like an indie film coming out, or it's already out, or something like that.
Reminds
And
me
I
of
was
like
like,
Teeth.
I was like, yeah, that sounds kind of lame. Well,
Yeah.
Teeth is like satirical almost. This is like
Yeah.
this is supposed to be like this is like mental
it's like
illness. So
legit.
she's like swallowing shit, right?
That's
I
weird.
was like, you know what? We should watch Prisoners because it's like Gone Girl on steroids. Like it's a
Yeah.
great movie. So we watched it and she really liked it, and it's obviously a fantastic movie. And Dennis is amazing.
Hmm.
So that's all that is. The first episode of the new season of Kamen Rider came out today.
I need to watch
not
that.
today, but last week. Sorry, last week.
Kamen Rider Saber, right?
Kamen Rider Saber.
Okay.
And the reviews online are that it's by the numbers for a premiere.
Okay.
I watched it, and I will say I completely agree. It is
By the numbers.
and there's also a big. I guess I would be considered part of the toxic, quote unquote toxic side of the Kamen Rider fandom, which is that I don't like new Kamen Rider in the sense of it's very childish. It's very like
it's turned more towards Power Rangers.
It's very similar to Sentai, and this first episode is very similar to Sentai. The theme is very similar to Super Sentai, and I don't want to say that there are no serious themes at all, because there definitely are serious themes in all these new Kamen Rider series. Like they hit on serious themes of like war and all this kind of stuff. It's the presentation.
Right.
Whereas when I was a kid, Kamen Rider, so it's broken up into eras, right? Like last era was the Heisei era, and we're now in the Reiwa era. But the first half of the Heisei era was like J dramas, basically. I guess the best way to describe it was J dramas that had people with armor on it. So like, I watched the first episode of Saber, and I was so turned off by how bright and childish the presentation was, because it's just not.
Is that the one? I think I saw a meme on it because I'm in a fake group as well, and one of the guys in that is a big Kamen Rider fan too. Does he like ride a lion?
Does he? Like I don't even remember. He might have.
I saw a meme or something like that where there was like a character. I thought it was from the new Saber because it looked.
It might be. I don't even remember.
But he's like riding like a robotic lion type of thing.
Oh, I don't even remember that. I
don't know.
I watched it last week and I was like, okay, and just blanked. Like the last probably 10 years of Kamen Rider, except for Fours, I have skipped after the first episode. I watched maybe 2 or 3 and been like, okay. And it's because of this thing. Like they're gearing towards Sentai when they know they can sell stuff.
Yeah.
And to make it more child friendly, more appealing to which is all perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy that particularly. And people on the internet hate my take. They hate my. So I would like look at Reddit forums and people asking the same question, and people are like, "You're a fucking boomer. You're an old man. You're a fucking boomer. You're a fucking oldie." Like, no, it's not. They're still dark, and I'm like, listen, there's still themes of real shit in all of New Kamen Rider. Abso-fucking-lutely. There's still super dark themes. It's the way it's presented.
Right.
You know, it's presented very not that. Like, not, like, example.
Well, even from what I watched from Fours, I mean, it's very Sentai-like and very,
so like
super Sentai childish.
Saber's henshin sequence was all in a CG world, like CG stuff. Kamen Rider doesn't do that. Kamen Rider does henshin sequences on screen, like in real world, like not in a CG background. Yeah, and I could be because of coronavirus. I don't know, but the opening scene to set up the world of Kamen Rider Saber is straight up Super Sentai. It's like a third party, like magical house, and there's a fucking person talking about a fairy book. Like, that is some fucking Sentai shit, which is fine.
That's already like, I mean, the fucking, what was it? What season was that? Magical Force of Power Rangers? That was like the same shit. They're like, they're fucking in a treehouse. Like, they're fucking Keebler elves, and then they've got fairies and shit, and yeah.
But the thing that kills me, and again, people like it, I particularly don't like the way that this stuff's presented, is that, so I watched Saber, and I'm sure there's going to be some heavy themes in it. The opening scene's like, the main character's like, there's a battle happening, and his family's being like attacked, and his like dad like sacrifices his life or something like that, and leaves him alone. That's heavy. That's a heavy theme. That's heroic, heavy, like deep theme. I wanted to see if I was out of place. If my thoughts were like just me being an old man, nostalgia type thing.
Okay.
So, Shout Factory, who's amazing, which is a company, they put a long time ago they were putting out Power Ranger seasons on DVD, and they started putting out Sentai seasons on DVD.
Okay.
And now they have Kamen Rider the first series, and they have Kamen Rider Kuga on their streaming services, all subbed for free.
Okay.
So you can watch on the Tubi app. You can where they have Shout Factory. I was like, fucking perfect. I gotta fucking go on my computer and watch it. Awesome. So I'm watching now. Let me lay it out for you. Kamen Rider Saber is the first series in the Reiwa era. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Kamen Rider Kuga is the first series in the Heisei era. So these are the equivalent first entries in their new eras. Kamen Rider Kuga has people being legitimately murdered.
Okay.
Like there's like shots of like hands and like blood trails. Like these monsters are killing people and you're seeing them being killed.
Okay.
Like it's a J drama where people are being murdered and Kamen Rider Kuga has to like literally save lives.
Okay.
Now that can all be inferred in every other Kamen Rider Super Sentai series that people are being killed because you don't see it. Like when the Megazords fight in the city, like of course, like we understand that people are being smashed by boulders. They're just not showing it. But it was the way it was presented that I was like, this is so much better. I like this so much more. But people on Reddit do not agree with me. People on Reddit,
they don't like the old Kamen Rider?
I think they do, but I think they think that there's infinitely still just so much wrong, stupid stuff about it, which completely is. It's still a kid's show. I just particularly like that package for certain stories more than Sentai. Because I stopped watching Sentai a long time ago.
I get that.
Strictly because of how, okay, we're going to sell toys, which I get is the whole point. Yeah. But also, like, okay, it's very just childish and...
Yeah.
I'm watching a kid's show, so that I understand that. Like, I get that. There's that hypocrisy there, but I do like, when I was a kid, the Kamen Rider series that I was watching, like, Ryukyu is the first one I saw where it's a war for a wish, and riders are people are dying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's, like, legitimately, like, you're getting killed. That, to me, that's some epic shit. But that's... Right. Maybe I'm just an edgy old man. Oh, excuse me.
Awesome.
Last thing that I've been doing, besides the Kamen Rider stuff, is I think I mentioned a little bit last week about Naruto.
Yeah.
I haven't gone back to it yet.
Okay.
I decided, you know what? I want to catch up on the other granddaddy. The one that's still running. I want to catch up.
I know that there's some big shit going on with that. I haven't seen anything from it in a long time, but I remember a couple of months ago, Twitter was like blowing up for like a couple of chapters.
I want to catch up on One Piece. And now I haven't read One Piece. I thought that it was recently. Cause I remember I'm like looking at the arcs. I'm like, yeah, I read One Piece recently. I'm like only like 3 arcs behind. Yeah, that's like fucking 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Because the arcs are so long now, apparently.
Yeah. Damn.
The last time I read One Piece was like at the beginning of the arc called Dressrosa. And
that's the Don Flamingo arc, right?
Yes, the Don Flamingo. And that arc apparently lasted 2 years, like real time.
So, like manga wise?
No, like in real life. It was 1 afternoon in manga, but 2 years in real life.
Oh.
And I was like, oh shit. I was like, you know what? I haven't done this in a long time. I want to reread the entire series up until current and then catch up.
Okay.
I was like, okay, here we go. So I'm like looking for like, no, do I want to watch the anime? Nah, definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And my big problem with One Piece manga on my phone, like reading through the Shonen Jump app, is that Oda draws a lot of shit in each panel.
He tightly packs his panels.
So to me, like on a phone screen, it gets really hard for me to read. Maybe it's because my eyes are bad. I have glasses. I don't know. On a page, it's different. On a page, it's perfect. It's like a beautiful. But on my phone screen, I'm like, okay, this is too small for these panels to be positioned. And it hurts my eyes, and it's hard for me to see what's happening. But I saw something on Reddit of a colored edition. I was like, okay, hold on. So I found a website and on Reddit of the translated, sorry, Viz Media, put it out, and I'll buy it, of up to like the 86th volume. There's like 95 out, but 86th volume of colored One Piece.
Fuck, dude. Like, send that shit my way. I'll read that.
So I started on chapter 1, and I was like, this looks better than the anime. Like, it looks better than... This is the premier way to consume One Piece.
Okay.
Like, no joke, it's beautiful. The art's already good, black and white, and the coloring is not like some bullshit half-assed like fucking webtoon color. Like no, like they like colored it and it looks amazing.
Okay.
So I started from the first chapter, and I read. I'm I'm currently on the arc called Whole Cake Island, which is
I don't
like
think I got that
I'm
far.
like one arc behind the current arc.
Okay.
Right, but caveat: I did skip 2 arcs.
Okay.
I skipped Dressrosa because I read it already.
Okay.
So that's the big ass like 2 year long. So I
Right.
skipped. That's a big chunk that I skipped because I already know what happens, and I've read it. A couple years ago I read it, and then um, I skipped one more. Which one did I skip? Uh, I skipped Skypia because I've
Yeah,
read
that
it
arc's
already
that
and
arc's
I
kind of
don't care. And I was like looking again.
Skypea is Crocodile, or is that the one before
No,
Crocodile?
it's Skypia is the Ennis, the lightning guy.
Yeah,
After Alabasta.
that arc's not good. Anyways, I
I
don't.
personally don't like it. People on the internet think that it's good. I don't
I
like it
don't.
at
I
all.
don't like it. I think it's super boring.
To me, it has very little to do with the overall story. Some people say I'm wrong. I don't think so.
I don't think it has any.
Um,
I mean, none of those characters come back. I don't think it has anything to do with the story.
it's very adventure-y. I think that people like that. I personally don't
Yeah.
care. Um, so I skipped.
Yeah, but then you go to like, I mean, it's adventure, but then you still go to the next arc, which is whatever Crocodile's arc is, and like that's a fucking adventure too. I don't know, and that actually has something to do with the main storyline. So I mean, I would prefer something like that.
Well, so I skipped those are the 2 longest ones, and I skipped both of those.
I didn't
Um,
realize Skypiea was that long.
yeah, it's pretty long. So I skipped both of those because I know them pretty well.
Yeah.
And I've read Dressrosa since I stopped. Like 8 years ago, I stopped. I was reading it, stopped reading, came back to it a couple years later, read Dressrosa. I was like, okay, stop reading because it was boring. And then
Mm.
now, all what I'm reading now is all brand new to me. So I'm here.
Dressrosa is the shit with the fourth gear, right? He's got the weird monkey form or whatever. Or what is it called?
Yeah, Gear 4. I don't know if he uses it. Does he use it against the flamingo? I can't remember.
I thought he
I
did because
skipped
he
it.
like.
I'm pretty sure he does.
I thought he did because he had to like. I don't know. I don't know why the fuck I'm talking. I've never read that far, but
This is
I
where you
thought
meet.
I
This is
thought
where
that he
you
used it.
meet like a character named Sabo. There's a big
He's the
tournament that
one that takes
happens.
Ace's fruit, right?
Yeah, all that
Yeah.
stuff. So,
I've seen that
and,
shit from games that he has the fire fruit.
and I have thoughts on that character.
Sabo?
They're not good.
He just looks like Sanji,
Yeah,
which is the thing that always gets me because I was just like, what? The first time I ever saw him, I was like, why the fuck is Sanji wearing a hat? Like, I don't
to
understand.
me, this character is pointless because we
Hmm.
don't need another brother for Luffy to have.
Is that what
Um,
he is? He's like a pseudo brother for him?
so like just like Ace, they're adopted brothers. Like they like
Mm,
shared some drink or something on an island when they were young, and they like adopted brothers.
that's stupid.
And it works with Ace, and I'm fine with that
Yeah.
because so like spoiler alert for anyone who's never read One Piece, or spoiler alert for you, Zach, if you didn't know this. I apologize.
That's fine.
Um, so Ace and Luffy don't are not brothers by blood, right? They're
Okay.
adopted,
Mm,
but they share the common trait that both of their dads were like are the most infamous people on the planet. So
mm,
like Luffy's dad is the revolutionary Monkey D. Dragon,
mm,
which is the one guy who's trying to fight the world government.
mm.
So he's not even a pirate. He's above that. He's not a pirate. He's trying to fight the establishment.
Yeah.
He's like overturning countries, like making countries fight the government. Like that's gonna be Endgame One Piece,
Yeah.
right? Whereas Ace's dad was the pirate king Goldie Roger. So you have
Oh. I
two.
didn't know that.
So you have that parallel where like they're both brothers, but they're both brothers raised by Garp,
Mm,
Luffy's actual blood grandpa. But they're
okay.
both of their dads are like the most infamous people on the planet at one point and then currently. So you have this thing, whereas Sabo's parents are just like some royalty that no one cares about.
Hmm.
But Sabo ends up going and joining the Revolutionary Army with Luffy, because with Luffy's dad. Yet he has his memories wiped or something, and then Ace dies, and that kicks his memory back in. But yet at one point, there's too many plot holes that involve Sabo,
Yeah.
that are a problem for me.
Yeah.
Ace was a very famous pirate.
Yeah.
No one knew that he was Goldie Roger's kid, but on his own, he was famous.
Mm-hmm.
The government offered him a job to be a warlord. He denied it. He became a pirate with Whitebeard. Everyone knew who he was, yet he never once met Sabo again. Like, it's stuff like that. Like, where like you're like, okay,
Yeah.
there's some plot holes here that, like, at a certain point I'm willing to forgive because it's been going on for 20 something years.
Yeah.
And I get that that's difficult, but there's the creation of that character of Sabo, for the sake of having Luffy have more family, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because he has never once talked to his dad yet.
Yeah.
And I was reading a chapter, like, this is like chapter like fucking 400 or something like that, a long time ago. So I'm on chapter 8 something now, where Luffy first gets his first big bounty, and Dragon, it cuts to a scene of Dragon, his dad, and his dad's like, Luffy, keep living your life, do your thing, follow your own path, we'll meet one day. And I'm like, thinking in like real life, that's like fucking like 10 years ago when that scene happened, and they still have yet to meet. Like, the one time that they were close together was when Smoker is beating up
Yeah,
Luffy.
it's like one of the first arcs where
When they're in Logtown. That's the
yeah,
only time they've been in the same panel.
where Luffy almost gets fucking executed,
And then
and then
Dragon
lightning.
saves them.
Yeah, is that what happens? I thought
Yeah.
lightning struck the.
So lightning strikes and a whirlwind happens, but Smoker's gonna like stab him or something with the stick, the sea stone stick. But his arm gets grabbed and it's Dragon. And that's the only reason why that they've been, only time they've been in the panel together, that I believe.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of getting tired of waiting.
Yeah.
Um,
I know recently they did a lot of backstory from what I saw. That it was like a couple of chapters. It was probably a couple of chapters ago at this point, but they did a lot of backstory with like Goldie Roger and like going through him and like his reign of establishing One Piece and stuff like that. So
he's been slowly building up. Excuse me. All the Pirate King's crew, which is really great. The coolest thing, and people might not agree with me, but it's because I like Sentai and I like Kamen Rider and Tokusatsu, is that, so the current arc I'm in is about Sanji, right? About Sanji's family, and having reread it in a quick burst, like, Oda like really foreshadowed a ton of shit. Like, he
with
thought
Sanji,
with everybody, with everything.
Oh, okay.
Like, he thought about a lot of shit. Like, in the chapters, in early chapters, the title card has cutscenes or whatever, or scenes from like other things that are not related to the chapter sometimes, most of the time. But there are other bits of story. So like right after Luffy and Zoro leave Kobe, like when they leave Kobe, and Kobe joins the Marines, it shows scenes of like Kobe training and being next to a guy with a dog hat, and like all this shit, and they keep saying his name is Garp, and like you're like, who the fuck is this guy? Clearly he's like a Marine, he's this big guy.
Yeah.
And you're seeing Kobe slowly become taller and get more buff and get less fat and get more to what he looks like now. And you keep seeing this Garp guy until finally they reveal it. Hey, by the way, this is Luffy's grandpa. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, you're like all like years ahead of time, like all this stuff. And they hint at like Sanji's life, like, okay, he's from this sea, but he grew up in this sea. You know, he left his family, all this kind of stuff. And the arc I'm in now, his family is called the Vinsmoke family, and it's a famous like military family, like a mercenary country.
Okay.
And he left them when he was younger, and they're like, no, you're coming back now because you have to be married to this lady, which is the daughter of Big Mama, which is a pirate emperor. So there's 4 pirate emperors, right?
Okay.
So you're gonna marry the daughter of one of them, so that we can combine our families between the Big Mama family and the Vinsmoke family, and now we have this big military pirate mercenary country.
Okay.
So he's being brought back, like, against his will, to marry this girl.
Right.
And at the very top of the Vinsmoke family,
I'm guessing if he's against his will, that she's not attractive.
she is actually.
What?
He actually is, but he wants to go back to his crew. He wants to go back to his crew, so he's like, listen, this breaks my heart because finally I get to meet a girl. But the part that I think you would like a lot too is that so at the very top of this family in this country, there's a special military group called Germa 66. First off, that's some anime sounding shit.
That's fucking anime as fuck.
So all his brothers and sisters are at the top of this military group.
Okay.
And apparently, there's a manga comic strip in the One Piece universe in this particular like sea, like where like their country used to be, like the North Sea or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So kids like would read about this character named like Sora, who's like a marine who would like go around and like fight this evil group of people called Germa 66. So all these kids thought that Germa 66 was fake, as a bad enemy, but in reality it was a real group. Well, they look like Gatchaman. You know what Gatchaman is?
I think so.
The famous Battle of the Planets, I believe it's called in America. Search up Gatchaman. It's a 80s 70s anime. You definitely seen it before in like Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Well, gotcha. The top of Germa 66, all Sanji's family, they wear costumes, like high-tech costumes like Gatchaman.
Oh, Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So search up Germa 66. His whole family wears outfits just like them.
Germa, like German without the...
yeah, Germa 66. Germa 66.
This is all Sanji's family? Oh, yeah, I see the eyebrows. Yep, that's definitely family.
So they all wear costumes like that, and they henshin.
Dude, that's pretty fucking... They look pretty fucking dope, dude.
Sanji gets the number 3 outfit called Stealth Black.
Damn, he looks pretty fucking good, dude. So,
there's a scene, and I skipped ahead because I saw it on YouTube on accident. I'm not there yet in the manga, so I don't know what happens. But in the current arc, there's a scene where Trafalgar Law, who you haven't met yet, a couple characters who are from the area where this comic book was real or was popular, they see Sanji henshin into the costume, and they're all like, "Wait, what? Stealth Black is real?" And he's like, "No, my name's not Stealth Black. Don't associate me with my family. That's not who I am." They're like, "No, you're lying. You're Stealth Black." Like they're like, because he's a bad guy. You know, because to them they supported the hero character of the comic book, and then Germa 66.
So the Tokusatsus are the bad guy in the comic?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Because they're assassins.
Right.
So Sanji,
they're Power Ranger assassins.
They're Power Ranger assassins. So Sanji goes back to his family. And he's like, I don't want to fucking be a part of this, you know. But then he has the henshin sequence, and he has the costume, and it's like, it's
pretty dope.
It's pretty rad. It's pretty rad, you know. And it's funny because like
those are all his brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can show you a clip later of like, you don't know the characters at all, but you can know that they're all from the same sea area, and they all know this character from the comic books, and they're like, listen, you are a bad guy. Why are you here? It's pretty funny.
Interesting.
That's the best part of One Piece so far.
Okay.
All I've done is try to find fucking figures of that group of people, and they don't have any.
Are they in the anime? Because that's probably why they don't have them yet.
They're years past now. It's been like
in the anime
3 years. Yeah, it's been like 3 years since this happened.
Damn, that's weird.
And they have a couple figures of like the girl, the sister, of course.
Yeah.
They have figures of them sitting in like these like round chairs, like a team. Mm-hmm. Pretty badass, but they're very expensive, and they're not big. They're small. But I want like figures of like all of them in their fucking costume. And I was looking at, there's no figures of them in costume.
That's lame.
I was looking at. Do you know AliExpress, the website?
No.
It's like Wish, like a Chinese knockoff website.
Okay.
So I was trying to find like knockoffs of these figures in case they look good and they're cheap. I found a couple that look like shit, but they were selling for like $60. Like, hey, we're selling the Vinsmoke family Germa 66 costumes for each of the family members. And I was like, I mean, I would look terrible in it, but I was like, give me a Stealth Black, man. You know, I haven't done it yet, obviously, but thought about it for Halloween. No one will understand what it is.
Interesting. I mean, they look good, man.
They look cool, really, man. Good. They can like float and shit because they have like floaty boots.
Yeah.
because of course it's it's fucking it's One Piece, so it has to be kind of goofy too.
Right.
Hold on, let me see if I can find. Excuse me, gosh.
They got a couple of, yeah. I did the costumes for them. They look fucking dope.
Okay, I know we're on the podcast right now, so I apologize, guys. It's like I'm gonna send you this real quick.
Okay.
It's Sanji's henshin sequence, um, into Stealth Black.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, my nose! I apologize, everybody. It's gonna be silence for a little bit, but I'll talk about it.
Okay.
Oh man.
Damn, son. Oh, he takes out a T-Rex? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. Fucking goes straight up.
In a can? Okay.
Oh.
Oh, it comes a belt buckle? I dig it. All right. I'm a fan. I'm digging it.
How good is that, man?
This is a good sequence.
It's so fucking sweet. It's
like
the
outrageous as fuck, dude.
I know, dude.
Makes sense though. I mean, 25 years, you have to fucking put everything in your manga at some point.
Yeah.
Just run out of ideas.
And then if you keep watching, real quick, they all love it because it's transformations.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trafalgar Law here is like recognizes it.
Oh.
He and everyone says, "I'm glad that this just confirms that Trafalgar Law's character is a fucking otaku." Because it's like, why would you know this character from when you're a kid? Like, it's a comic book character.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I mean, I'm
really Sora, Warrior of the Sea.
I'm really enjoying that part of the arc I'm in currently. It's goofy, but it's One Piece, so you can't obviously it's quasi goofy, but
yeah.
That
whole show is like half goof, half serious.
Exactly. That's all I've done this week, Zach.
Okay. That's a pretty full week for both of us. I mean, One Piece, catching up on One Piece, that's a significant chunk of time that you got to put in.
I've been doing like 100 chapters a day.
Fuck, dude, yeah, that's a lot.
Almost, pretty much. So we can go ahead and move into the news segment.
We got one! News.
Where do you want to start, Zach? Take us away.
Warner Brothers is fucking stupid, and it pisses me off.
Tell me why.
They have decided, so Warner Brothers, which I guess I kind of knew but didn't really acknowledge, that they have Wonder Woman, obviously, and they also are the studio behind Dune. And for some reason, they decided to take out their brain and put Wonder Woman release dates. They moved it back to the week after Dune, which means that Dune will basically make half the money it was supposed to. And I don't know why, as a studio, you're like, yeah, let's undercut our own tentpole movie by putting another tentpole movie the week after. It's so stupid, especially Christmas. Like, Christmas is going to be the time that's going to make a lot of money. And also, I just don't care about Wonder Woman that much. I care about Dune way more. So the fact that, like, this is going to hurt Dune pisses me off.
Maybe they're thinking, like, okay, hey, it's holiday era. So maybe
well, I mean, that's
maybe we can get people to go out both weekends.
Their excuse in the article is that, like, oh, we don't see a lot of stuff coming around. We totally think that Christmas can support 2 tentpoles. And I was like, yeah, it probably can, but, like, as a studio, why are you competing with yourself? That makes no sense from a business standpoint.
It's purely because, and they will not say this, but it's purely because they don't have faith in Dune to pull a large audience.
Yeah.
They know Wonder Woman's going to pull audience. They know that. But Dune will pull people like you and me who, one, like space operas, 2, like the director, 3, look at the cast and go, oh man, it's a pretty stacked cast. 4, we can talk about the trailer in a second. It looks like a good trailer.
Yeah.
5, we've been excited for it. Or 6, you're the book nerds who like doing the book, and obviously you and me don't really fall into that category.
Yeah.
We're the white guys we've tested.
Yeah.
We've tested, but like we're like fans of other stuff.
Yeah, I still have the book, and I still want to try to finish it before the movie comes out, but I haven't picked it up in a while since I've been reading Dresden. But want to try to get back into it
But
again.
there are the people who are like, yeah,
But I'm
I read
definitely
all
not one of
five.
those one that like, yeah, like I'm definitely not one of those people that has like consumed every piece of Dune
Yeah.
content that has ever existed on the face of the
There's
earth.
book people I watch on YouTube who are like, yeah, Dune's the best book of all time, and here's why. And
Yeah,
I'm like, I believe you, I guess. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't
I guess.
understand.
I mean, I don't have personal
I
experience,
don't
but
have
I'll
personal
trust your
experience.
opinion.
I opened the book once and saw something called Arrakis. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
we'll just watch the movie when it comes out.
yeah,
Um, that's the only thing I can think of.
yeah,
Because the idea that like we're gonna compete with ourselves and it's gonna make the ship, the ship rise of water and tide,
yeah.
I don't believe that.
It's so dumb to just undercut your own, even if you don't have faith in it, to just completely undercut it
Yeah.
as you yourself are undercutting it. It's just so, it's so stupid. And also, I don't care about superhero movies anymore. And this is something different and something that I'm interested in and that I want to see and that I want to see do well.
But the mass
And to see it,
public doesn't want different.
fuck the mass public. The mass public are a bunch of fucking assholes.
The mass public wants.
The mass public are the same people or the fact that the fucking Academy Awards are changing their fucking rules.
The mass public wants Spider-Man 3, Transformers 7.
Yeah.
The mass public wants that. They don't want.
The mass public wants Wonder Woman 84.
Dune is gonna make you think.
Yeah.
Dune's gonna make you have to look at elements and themes that Dennis touches on,
Yeah.
which every movie he's made, not one of his movies hasn't had like thematic shit to make you go, huh.
Yeah.
Not one of them has not had that. Every single one has that. So to act like Dune, because this trailer for Dune that we'll talk about in a little bit,
Yeah.
is a pretty straight up space opera trailer. Yeah. But you would be an idiot to be like, it's Star Wars. It's gonna be like Star Wars. Like, no, it's not. It's gonna have like some fucking. It's gonna have some shit in it because it's Dennis Villeneuve.
Honestly, I mean, especially from this trailer, it gives me like serious like space opera anime vibes.
Oh yeah.
Like fucking Galactic Heroes, like fucking old ass Gundam.
It
fucking
really
Robotech, like.
It made me want Dennis to make Space Captain Harlock.
Yeah.
Space Pirate Cap, whatever the fuck it's called, Captain Harlock, into a live action movie.
Yeah.
Because I would be really hyped for that.
Yeah.
So the trailer is out.
Yes.
And we've been talking about this movie for a long time.
Probably almost over a year at this point.
What are your thoughts? How do you feel about it? Anything that stands out from the trailer to you in particular?
I love the trailer. I like the pacing of it. I like the visuals of it. I think it looks rad as shit. The thing that stands out is fucking giant sandworms. It looks fucking rad. I didn't know what I thought it was gonna look like, but now that I've seen it, I couldn't see it looking anything different than that. It looks great. The fucking giant sandworm looks great. I like the visuals of it. Yeah, I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, I really liked it as well. The pacing was good. The color correction looked great. The style that he made looked great.
The effects look great too. The weird hollow shields that they have on them when they're like
stuff looked cool. And stuff. It honestly looked very similar to the David Lynch one in terms of like color choice and all that kind of stuff. That looked cool. The sets look good, or the CG sets look good. I was very unsure that Timothy Chalamet. I'm not sure if you've seen that TikTok before, but
no, I haven't.
It was a TikTok where they call it. This guy's like, "Listen, me and Timothy Chalamet, but Timothy Chalamet, I don't care for him at all. I don't think he's a good leading man actor. He looks good in this. I still don't necessarily think that. Again, since I have no reference for what Paul should look like, I can't complain in terms of that.
I mean, as far as like what I know from Paul to look like, he looks like a younger Kyle MacLachlan.
Okay. Well, that's not Timothy Chalamet, but he looks fine. He looks fine.
I mean, I think Timothy Chalamet looks like a younger Kyle MacLachlan based on like Dune. Like he looks like a younger version of him.
I think if I pull a picture of Kyle MacLachlan right now, I'd be like, hey, he looks a little different. But even with that being said, and not really liking that guy's work, I think it looks fine, and we'll see how they build it up. Everyone else in the movie looks awesome.
Yeah, fucking Batista looks like some weird, what is the word? Albino mercenary dude. Get Jason Momoa being Jason Momoa. I saw some meme where it was like the trailer of Justice League is like my man, and then in the Dune he's like my boy. I was like, yep, that's Jason Momoa's like whole character basically.
That Josh Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin looks good.
Looks cool. Oscar Isaac looks awesome.
Oscar Isaac looks great. Fucking what's his name? The father to the Hemsworth boys. What's his name? He's the same guy who played the scientist in Thor, but he plays the villain. He's the guy with the mustache that comes out of the mustache. I was like, fuck, dad. He looks like. Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Isn't that
Skarsgård?
Skarsgård, yeah.
Skarsgård. Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry. Too many families.
But is he even? He's actually their dad, though, right?
Skarsgård, yeah, he's their real dad.
Isn't there one Skarsgård who's not actually part of that family? He's an American.
That I don't know.
Isn't there a Skarsgård who's not a Skarsgård?
I only know like 2 Skarsgårds.
The guy from It.
And I can't even think of them off the top of my head. Skarsgård. I can't even spell his fucking name.
Stellan Skarsgård is the dad.
Yes. Gustav.
Bill is the guy from It. Alexander is the guy from fucking Tarzan, right?
Yeah, he was Tarzan, yeah.
I thought there was another one who was not part of that family.
I don't know who this Gustav is. I've never heard of him.
Maybe he's an actor primarily in Europe.
Interesting. It says he was in Westworld and stuff. I don't know.
Okay. Whatever. And then what's her name looked good too?
Yeah.
What's her name?
The one from Mission Impossible. I can't remember her name.
No, the girl who plays like Paul's girlfriend or something. Or Paul's
Zendaya. Yeah, Zendaya.
Zendaya looks cool. Set design looks great. Costume design looks great.
That was the production quality for the movie looked fucking phenomenal. I love their marine space suits with like their helmets and shit. That looks fucking rad.
The people who worked on all the gear, it looks great.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it, man, and I'm not excited for a lot of movies anymore. But I'm excited for this. I think it looks really great. And Dennis has never let me down.
No, not yet.
Even a movie like Blade Runner didn't do that great, but I thought that was a great movie.
I still think Blade Runner is a good movie. I still like it more than the original Blade Runner. The original Blade Runner to me is like, I mean, I think I've told this story before, but like I like the original Blade Runner, but it took me like, I think 3 different attempts to watch it because I would always start watching it and I would like fall asleep halfway through because I would get so fucking bored.
I like the first Blade Runner more. Not by much though. Because to me they're both better in theory than they are in practice.
That's fair.
Because to me, I would, and this is me having commando time cop monkey brain, where I would rather have the movie be like, okay, I want to see Deckard like in prime. Yeah, I want to see Deckard like hunting down replicants.
Yeah,
I want to see the Blade Runners doing the job.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the bit where it was like, I think 2049 started off on the right foot where he's like going after Dave Bautista, but then he kind of like gets away from that. And I would like to see more of that too. Like
the idea, like if there was a book where it was just Deckard like in the prime after whatever that war, whatever that was, where he's hunting replicants, that's what I want to see. I mean, I like the noir-y elements for sure. And I think that 2049 does that better than the first movie. So I don't think that the first movie, that the whole idea, like the whole time we're thinking, is Deckard actually a replicant or whatever? Yeah. I never really thought that.
I don't know. I never really had that big connection about it that most people did. I mean, regardless of what Ridley Scott says, I watched the first movie that he's a human, and I watched 2049 that he's a human.
Yeah, me too.
So
me too.
I mean, that's the way I think about it. Plus, I mean, it's hard to say he's a replicant when he fucking looks old as hell in fucking 2049.
Well,
And
we have
I think the whole
made
thing of replicants is that they like don't age.
they
So I
made
mean, the fact that
special
he's old.
scientific machinery that ages
Yeah,
over time.
yeah. He's like the only replicant that can age apparently. So.
Next thing of news, moving on from Dune.
Mm.
Daisy Ridley in an interview with that guy
Mm.
from the annoying actor.
Yeah.
They're talking about the background for her character in Star
Mm.
Wars.
Yeah.
And this is the quote. I'm going to quote this from this article,
Mm-hmm.
which is a quote from her in the interview. Quote, at the beginning, there was toying with an Obi-Wan connection. There were different versions. Then it really went to, it was no one. And then it came to episode 9, episode 9?
9.
9, and JJ pitched me the film and was like, yeah, oh yeah, Palpatine is granddaddy.
Yeah.
End quote. And then another quote. Then 2 weeks later, he was like, "Oh, we're not sure." So it kept changing. So even as we were filming, I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be. That's what Daisy really said in this interview with Josh Gad, that annoying actor.
Yeah.
All this did, between this and John Boyega stuff,
Mm-hmm.
is confirm what we've been saying for 4 years.
Well, I mean, this is basically a repeat of what we said last week with John Boyega, which is that Star Wars, not Star Wars, Disney had no plan.
Yeah.
They had no guideline, and they were flying by the seat of their pants. And when you're handling something like Star Wars, or not even something like Star Wars, but any sort of cinematic universe, because Warner Brothers did the same shit, you need to have a plan.
Well, something that this is this big, where you have so many things that you can pull from or continue.
Yeah.
And the downside, and this is I was thinking about this last week actually. Excuse me. That Star Wars to me is dead.
Yeah.
I'm not meaning that in hyperbolic like whatever statement, which it is a statement like that, but
I mean, it's dead to me. I don't care about
and here's how I describe it. Is that yes, Star Wars is not focused on Luke Skywalker. It is. It's a Skywalker focused story. It always has been. It should have been. And with that storyline being wrapped up in such a shitty way,
Yeah.
if we go anywhere past these movies and novels, comic books, they're going to have to create Jedis.
Yeah.
In some way.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be well made if they try to just copy what the old universe did with the books.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to make any sense. Even how they try to finagle it, like they can go back in time as much as they want, like they're doing now with the High Republic.
Yeah.
But at one point, they're going to have to go beyond Episode 9. And when they try to do that, it's going to get hammered by everybody. Because even now, you know, the shills that were paid money to go see the movies early, even now they're being like, well, John Boyega has a point. Daisy really has a point. You know, 2 years ago, they were like, you guys just don't like women.
Yeah. You don't like black people.
We don't like shitty stories in a franchise that could have been amazing.
Yeah.
Because this story could have been awesome.
I mean, this was the golden goose for Disney. This was like the biggest fucking story ever when Disney bought Star Wars and they basically flushed it down the fucking toilet.
How great would it have been if, like, we come back, and this is me. Maybe people don't agree with me, and I'm sure there are. I was fully expecting Rey or Finn to be Force sensitive and to be like, oh shit, and to go to fucking Yavin 4, and there's the Jedi Council. And Luke's there, and they get trained, and now we see Jedis doing Jedi shit. That's what I expected and wanted.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they had a copy of the expanding universe, because I knew they already deleted that.
Yeah.
But that concept of actually having a Jedi Council would have made these movies, whether it was a 5-person council, a fucking 600-person Jedi, you know, whatever, a 10,000 person like the old school Jedi, something. Have
I
something.
just don't understand. I mean, it goes back to the thing where it's just like, I mean, I'm not huge into the expanded universe, but I still just like, I still just don't understand why they got rid of it, because they end up taking a lot of stuff from it anyways. And honestly, those stories were structured well and were interesting, and so I don't understand why they were just like. I just don't. I mean, I said it at the time, and I just still don't understand why they just got rid of them.
I get why. To not have to limit themselves to follow narrative that
Yeah.
they don't want to create.
I mean, I get that, but like, if this is
it.
the narrative that you were going to create, then like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You came up with an idea that was piss poor, worse than a lot of the books that I've read. And now we're going to get Kenobi as a standalone season.
Yes.
And I guarantee it's going to be heavily inspired by the book Kenobi.
Yeah.
That is about the same story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the same fucking story. So, Daisy really, I mean, she had more insight onto it, with Kathleen Kennedy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Zach, what do you want to hit on next?
Let's see here. Xbox Series S price and details of the console were announced. Honestly, I mean, I've never bought an Xbox. I'm not a big Xbox guy, but I mean, this sounds like a really fucking good deal.
It does. I mean, I don't really like digital media.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I buy all my games digital now. So it's like, even if I was going to buy a PS5, I was probably just going to buy the digital console anyways, except for maybe Blu-rays. That's like the only thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, it's going to be PS5 is going to be. I need the 4K.
Yeah,
because it's going to play 4K. So I'm buying the PS4, PS5 disc drive no matter what. I don't know if they have a not disc drive option.
Yeah.
But for the Xbox, this is perfect for me because I this is like fantastic. I don't need disc drives for Xbox.
No.
I barely even play it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know. I mean, it's just like, I mean, for me, I don't know. I mean, the specs, I don't really know too much about the specs, and I don't think I have a 4K TV, and I've never really had one, and so like, I don't know, resolution and stuff. I mean, that stuff really doesn't matter to me. The biggest stuff that matters
When's it come out?
is just like how much memory space. I think they said it's November, I think, because pre-orders start like next week, I think, or something. It's like a week or 2 weeks.
Hold on, let's find a.
Ships November 10th.
Okay, hold on. All right, November 10th for the Xbox Series S.
I don't think the PlayStation has announced a date for their stuff yet.
PS5 release date.
Yeah, I don't think they have.
I'm not seeing one.
Although I did see that
14 hours ago.
They released that dog shit thing. Did you see that PS5 did that thing where they had the limited edition consoles that were like solid gold or whatever?
No, I didn't.
It was so. I was like, this is like such. It was such a shitty idea. It's like, hold on, PlayStation 5 limited edition. It's like solid gold and it's like limited edition, and I was like, what kind of like fucking dog shit is this? Hold on. Gold. Maybe I have to type in gold. Gold limited edition. Here it is. 24 karat gold PlayStation 5. I was like, first of all, who wants this besides like the fucking drug dealer that like sometimes plays GTA on the side? Yeah, like, right. What the fuck?
Plays Madden. Okay. Let's copy that. Paste
and it costs like $1 million or something.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's some obscenely priced amount of money.
That's dumb. It looks dumb too.
Yeah, it just looks like it looks like you could get a skin for your PlayStation 5 that like looks the exact same.
Yeah. Well, 47 minutes ago, The Verge posted an article saying that Sony announces a PS5 event for Wednesday.
Okay.
IGN reports the same thing. So Wednesday
we'll finally get a release date and a price.
And there's an article from last night, from Tom'sGuide.com that says that their leaks from Amazon Japan points to PS5 release date being November 20th.
That sounds about right. Right on the holiday. I don't know why they wouldn't want to do it like the week before Thanksgiving.
So that makes me have to ask you this question. So okay. Xbox Series S, X, are both of them coming out?
X X and S are both coming out on the 10th. Yeah.
Okay, so November 10th is the new
Yeah.
Xbox.
Correct.
Potentially 20th, 21st, 23rd, 18th, whatever.
Somewhere right around there.
Somewhere around there from leaks saying that PS5 coming out then. Okay.
Yeah.
So, on November 19th is Cyberpunk 2077. So what are you doing?
I think on the 20th, I'm getting a PS5 and buying Cyberpunk 2077.
You will not buy an Xbox and then buy Cyberpunk on Xbox?
Depends on how much. I guess it depends on how much
$300
available income I have. That's true. But I mean, for me, I mean, yeah.
It's not going to change your experience. You know, like it's the same game.
Yeah, it'd be. Do I want a digital copy of Cyberpunk though? Because I like it that much. I don't know.
Or like, do you?
I only really buy physical copies for games that I really like. Like,
sure,
it would be for me if I was like I think the last one I got was like I got Tekken 7 physical, and then I got Persona 5. It was like I pre-ordered that.
Because you could always like just
and then got the steel case. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, typically I only buy physical if I'm going to get something special with it. Like with my Persona 5, when I bought that digital, I got the steel case. So it was like, I feel like it would take something like that for me to buy physical. But like, Cyberpunk would be the game that was like, they were like, oh, we have a steel case. We'd be like,
sure.
I want the steel case.
And well, they had the special edition that they had on pre-order. But like,
yeah.
Do you want to have to wait potentially a day before you can play it?
I don't know. That's tough. It's also tough for me because I don't know what it is, but just like, I don't know. I've never been a big Xbox guy. It's never been a thing for me. I've always had a PlayStation. Like, I mean, we started off with PlayStation 1, we got PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, my brothers have always, you know, they don't really care either way. I mean, my brothers right now both have Xboxes and they do shit on Xbox. But I don't know. It's not really been. I'm not really like anti-Xbox. I don't know. I think the biggest thing for me is that like Xbox has never had any exclusive games that has made me want to buy an Xbox.
Right.
Aside from maybe Killer Instinct, but Killer Instinct never made me want to buy an Xbox. So I don't know. I don't know if I would just rather wait one day.
Because part of me is like, well, I already.
Part of me, I mean, it's on like a Thursday or Friday, right? So I won't even be able to really play it until like, you know, the next day, anyways. So
like, I'm thinking like I already have a 4K Blu-ray player. Like I don't need one for the PS5. I'm just buying one because I want one.
Yeah.
I could just buy the fucking Series X and be like, preload Cyberpunk for whenever that comes out. And next thing you know, I'm set, baby.
It's possible. I mean, honestly, I don't know how much a Blu-ray player is, but I can't imagine they'd be that expensive. That I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could probably just buy the Series X and then go from there.
I think I bought my 4K player for like 150 maybe. But I got mine a couple years ago when it wasn't as.
I mean, if I'm gonna buy a Series S, I could probably just go on Black Friday and probably find a Blu-ray player for like $100 or something. I'm seeing like $50 right now, so.
Is it a Blu-ray player looking at 4K?
I don't really do 4K, so I mean that doesn't
matter then. Yeah, like I have a 4K Blu-ray player I bought specifically just to watch 4K on.
I mean, for me also, this is a big thing for me, and I mean maybe this isn't the discussion to have right now while we're having this, but like, what is the appeal of 4K? Because I've seen videos of it, and it just looks like it doesn't look like anything that like I need to have. I feel like Blu-ray is still good.
I would say this. The appeal of 4K, like true 4K with like HDR or whatever the fuck it's called.
I also don't have a 4K TV, so I feel like that kind of.
Also I do. And old movies look amazing.
Okay.
Like newer stuff, very slight.
Okay.
Very slight. Maybe the audio is very slight. Old stuff, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Inception. Looks pretty good. Not saying Inception's old, but Inception looked pretty good on 4K.
I mean, it's like 10 years old, I feel like, at this point, isn't it?
Apollo, I thought looked really, really great on 4K. I have like 25 4K Blu-rays. Forrest Gump looks pretty good. Okay. Jaws looks pretty good. But if it's like Avengers, like I'm sure it looks different. I'm sure it looks better if you have like a fucking big ass projector TV or
Right.
But for the average person, like a Blu-ray is still perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But to talk about, I'm not even worried about 4K for Cyberpunk. I'm just worried
Mm-hmm.
about like I'm not gonna clearly if the new consoles come out, if one console's coming out beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
like what's making me buy a PS5 at launch? Nothing.
Yeah. I think Spider-Man maybe.
For you,
I guess,
like
yeah.
for
I mean,
me,
I really like Spider-Man,
the
so
only
yeah.
thing making me buy a new console at all is Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I can
I
see
can just
that.
not buy either one and buy it for the old console, but why the fuck would I do that? Like, why would I buy
Yeah,
the game where I know that I can buy a better looking version of the game
yeah.
right now?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I would definitely buy Cyberpunk for next gen if I was going to
Right.
get it.
So for me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna buy both consoles anyways. At some point, I'm buying
See,
both.
that's the whole thing for me too, is that like I don't know, I usually don't buy both consoles. I usually have one and I kind of stick with it, and then the games that are on the other one, which is also why I usually stick with PS5 because if I'm going to choose one, the games that I usually can't get on any other console are going to be on the PlayStation because they have exclusives.
Yeah.
Xbox, they kind of do, but like I really don't care about Halo, and I really don't care about Gears of War, and Xbox doesn't really have anything else besides that. So for
Yeah.
me, I would rather just buy the PlayStation
But
because that has a
I'm even thinking about PlayStation 5. And like, there's
yeah,
nothing announced that I am
yeah.
like, I need
There's
that.
nothing immediately announced yet that makes me want to pick it up right
And
away.
honestly,
Stuff coming
to
down
be
the pipe.
honest, I bought a PS4 just to be able to play Naughty Dog games, and that didn't work out the way that I thought I was
Well,
going
I
to.
bought your PS4, so
I'm saying I bought a PS4 to play Naughty Dog, and that didn't work out the way that I thought it was going to work out.
yeah.
Because I still haven't even thought about playing Last of Us Part 2.
What? Huh?
You
What was
know,
that?
obviously God of War is somewhere in the pipeline for PS5,
Yeah.
obviously, but that hasn't been, nothing
Yeah, it
of that
hasn't
has
been.
been even been hinted at.
Yeah.
So I can wait a couple years before I buy the console.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just about what's the best, fastest route to get Cyberpunk into my hands, and that looks like
Yeah.
buying the Xbox Series S.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if there's definitely not anything coming out for the PS5 right now, I think I definitely would lean towards, buying the Xbox and then going from there, especially because it's the same price as a Nintendo Switch. And I can't seem
Yeah.
to fucking find any Nintendo Switches, so I might as well spend the $300 on something that I'm actually gonna
And
play.
honestly, the idea of spending $360 before tax
Yeah.
versus
Six
$460
games? Yeah.
sounds a little bit more chewable.
Yeah.
Um, Especially if I know that um, I don't need a 4K player
Yeah.
um, and stuff like that. So that's probably the route that I'm gonna go. And then it's down the line when I start
You
seeing
might
more
have convinced me to
exclusives.
finally buy an Xbox. My first Xbox might be a Series
I
S.
also I prefer shooters on Xbox controller.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just
I
what it
know I've
is.
always heard that about Xbox being the preferred one for shooters. I don't know. I've just got so used to it with PS5 that I mean, it doesn't really make a huge difference to me. But
Like if they were like, hey, like it was flip flop. If PS5 was coming out on the day that Xbox announced,
yeah.
it's done. I'm buying a
So
PlayStation.
here's the real question: Is we have this event on Wednesday, and the leaks were not true, and it
Right.
is releasing on like November 15th
Hmm.
instead of November 20th or whatever. It releases before Cyberpunk.
Right.
Would that change your decision,
Depends on
or would
price
you
point.
still buy an Xbox?
It really depends on price point.
Okay.
Because what's the Series X price? 400.
I think so. I think it's $399. I think it's
Um,
$100 more. It actually
it,
might be more than that. I'm not sure. Maybe it is like maybe it's almost 500. I'm not sure.
um,
Series X twice. It is. It's
four
500.
499.
Yeah, 500.
So that
So $200 price
so the
difference.
PlayStation is gonna be in that ballpark, right?
The other thing too, and I don't know too much about this because obviously I've never had an Xbox, but I know that recently we don't have this in our news, but I know that EA announced they were partnering with Games Pass, and from people on my gaming pages that do own Xboxes, I know they all really enjoy Games Pass.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that might be another part of it too, because I think they also, I don't know if this is true or not. I haven't actually seen it written down anywhere, but I'd heard rumors on my page that because Game Pass I think is going to be like 25 or 20 $34 a month or something like that. But I heard that it was also going to be partnering Xbox Live with it. So you would pay
Yeah.
like $35 and then you would get Xbox Live Game Pass with all of their games and all of that stuff for like $35
Right.
a month. Which I mean is not terrible. I mean it's not PlayStation Plus pricing for sure,
No.
but you get way more games, so there's that to it.
Yeah, I don't know. If it comes out that the price point of the PS5 is 500 and comes out after
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, it's gonna have to go for the Series S.
I would hope that because I know because PlayStation already announced that they're doing the regular and they're also doing their own digital only version.
Okay.
Because that was that an initial Xbox thing or whatever where they showed off the design. They showed that it was going to be there's a digital only and then there's the regular. So I unless I would assume maybe that their prices are maybe similar to this.
They have to be. Like, they have to be.
I mean, they have to
they
be.
Have
Otherwise,
to be.
I don't know why anybody would buy it.
You get blown out the water. That's what happened with the Xbox 360 and the PS3, I believe.
Yeah, well, the PS3 was like so anti-consumer because I think the PS3 costs like I think it costs like $100 more than a fucking Xbox.
Who would do that? You know.
Yeah.
So like, if they announce that the PS5 is coming, there's a digital version, and that it's quasi similar specs to the Xbox.
Yeah.
And it comes out a day or two after.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'd go for that. Again, either one, I'm gonna pick up either one.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'm almost tempted to just get the Xbox anyways because I know that I'm gonna buy a PS5 anyways at some point, and I want the disc version of that. So fuck it, maybe I just wait until there are more games I want to buy for the PS5.
Yeah.
Buy the Xbox and get Cyberpunk digital.
Also, I know a lot more of our friends buy Xbox than buy PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So that's always a big part of it too. Is maybe I could do that, and then I could finally like play games with our friends instead.
Yeah, we can play Call of Duty. We can play Call of Duty together.
I still play Call of Duty sometimes, but I never see anybody on anymore.
We could play Black Ops together and not have to worry about netcode or something.
Also, my fucking VTuber got that fucking Black Ops fucking testing copy.
You said my VTuber.
One of my favorite VTubers.
What's her name?
Her name is Botan. She's a lion girl, and she's actually like a huge gamer. Like she's talked about her gaming past, where it was like one of the games that she played a lot was she played the original Black Ops, and she said she put over 1,000 hours into it.
This is an American girl. Or this is a Japanese.
This is a Japanese girl.
Zach, you can't see her real face.
But she's cute. She's a cute lion girl.
Okay.
Look, I didn't mean to go down the VTuber path again, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying, that she was able to get an advanced copy of the new Black Ops and was playing it, and it seems like she's having a lot of fun with it.
Sure, I get it, dude. I get it. Next piece of news.
Yes.
This is a big deal for me. I didn't see this when this came out 3 months ago. So this is old news, but new news to me.
Okay.
That Shaman King is getting a rebooted anime in 2021, and it's going to finish the full series.
Yeah, I saw that.
Also, the manga is being finally released fully in English, I think, on digital.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the manga was released, but then they're going to finish it out. The last few volumes weren't released.
Yeah.
I am a huge Shaman King fan.
I've never watched this because I never had like the WB Kids or whatever because I think that was the big one that it was on. So I know of it, but I never actually fully watched it. But I always thought it looked fucking rad.
I think it was a 4Kids era.
Yeah, it was like the WB 4Kids stuff. But I
think it was a Fox Kids thing.
I think so, yeah.
Fox Kids, 4Kids, not WB, I don't think. Yeah, it was 4Kids.
I thought WB was 4Kids.
4Kids is Foxbox.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a Foxbox show. A dub ran on Foxbox, but I adored.
Do we know what service is going to get it? Like Crunchyroll?
I don't think it says. I don't think the article says so. Either way, I'm gonna watch it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where or how. I'm going to watch it because to me this is one of my favorite manga of all time, and one of my favorite shonen mangas of all time for sure. Um, this thing is amazing. The concept is so unique and so original, and there's nothing like it in terms of. It's a big fucking tournament arc. It's awesome, but the concept there's no other concept like it. Um, art is so unique and stylish. It reminds me of like kind of like Bleach in terms of like the atmosphere, but more Native American, obviously the shaman stuff. It's awesome, man. It's such a great manga. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it in like brand new animation. I love the old theme song and the American theme song. I love the old American anime. So I'm a dub of it. So I'm very excited to see it brand new 2020 style graphics. As long as it's not CG, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. If it's CG, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I can't see why they would do that, but there's a video I saw from a couple years ago or last year of the mangaka of Shaman King doing an interview in his office. And his office is fucking rad looking. It's so cool. It's such a fucking awesome, sweet office on YouTube. And he was talking about how he was kind of bummed because he never really got to finish it on his own terms because it kind of got canceled. So now I'm like,
the anime did or the manga did?
The manga did.
Wow.
He was told to like kind of wrap it up pretty quickly, so he couldn't do what he wanted to do. So I was like, dude, I hope this rejuvenates, because there's a sequel series that's going on, but I think that people forget this. It gets lost in the jump, other stuff, and this to me is one of those series that was really important to me as a kid. In particular, there's one fight in particular, because it's a tournament, to become the Shaman King.
Ooh.
And there's a fight where he fights a guy. The main character, Yo, fights a necromancer named Faust, I believe is his name. And
does he control the devil?
He controls like zombies in a graveyard.
Wow.
There's a really good
missed opportunity there.
Excuse me. It's Faust. Let me pull up a scene of the manga if I can, real quick. Okay. I apologize, everybody. Where Yo's best friend is in the area of the fight, he gets like captured, and then the necromancer's like cutting him open to like antagonize the main character.
Damn. All right.
I'm trying to find the dark. Shaman King, Faust cuts open. I don't know how. I don't know what the fucking Google.
I don't know.
Here it is. I fucking found it. Oh no, the resolution's like shit. Don't take me to mangafreak.com.
You want to go to Manga Freak?
That's fine. It'll work. Here we go.
Right, lay down.
Okay, I'm sending you the chapter page.
Okay.
The big ass link.
Okay. Let me see. Come on, Manga Freak. Lay it on me. Holy fuck. Alright, that's fucking intense.
You know, I remember seeing this being like, oh man, this is like one of the first bad guys you're like, oh my gosh. This dude's fucking insane. So, I love Shaman King. I'm a big fan of it. I'm excited for this. For sure.
Damn.
What do you want to hit next, dude? Excuse me.
Let's see. Luca Guadagnino, I don't even know how the fuck to say his name. The director who did the Suspiria remake said he wants a big old fat old R rating for his Scarface remake, and my main reaction is, you're fucking dumb. You're making Scarface. Apparently, he's calling it shocking. I don't believe it's going to be that much more shocking than Scarface, but I guess we'll have to see. I mean, I like him as a director. I like what he did. I mean, I loved his Suspiria remake. I thought it was one of my favorite movies that I'd seen in a long time. But I don't know. His over-the-top talking about Scarface is like, I don't know. Also, Scarface is much different than like anything else he'd really done up to this point, so I don't know how well he's going to do actually adapting or remaking this, but I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess.
Yeah, that's a stupid. Like the idea that he's like,
He has to quantify that he's going to make it.
it's listen. There's the original Scarface, which I've never seen, but it's an old movie, so you can already assume it's nowhere near what the Pacino one is.
Yeah.
So if the Pacino one's rated R from De Palma, what the fuck else do you expect? It's the same. Okay, here's speaking of another piece of news that we have. This ties in.
Yeah.
This is what happened with the RoboCop remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it, reimagining. Where when that came out, I'd never even seen it. I've still never seen it. I would refuse to watch it.
I remember I was in the room when it like came out. I think when it was available to be like streamed, and you like scrubbed through it for 5 minutes, and you were like, "Yeah, this is stupid."
Exactly. Yes, you're absolutely right. Because I remember doing that, and my big gripe was he went to his car, and then the car exploded or something, and that's how he died.
Yeah.
And his brain was there, and like he had like an arm or something, in a hand, or part of his face or something was still there. Hence the mask keeps like opening up and down. But it was PG-13, I believe, and I think that was such a like, you can't, how are you going to downgrade what the original was, which was a hard R.
Yeah, hard R.
It was a hard R.
Yeah.
And then you're not only going to downgrade the rating and the violence that the movie was being satirical about, which is what it was. It's a satirical movie about commercialism and violence and all this kind of stuff. You're going to downplay that, remove those themes that are so important to the movie, but then you're going to completely change the character and the themes of the character. So the idea that this director has to be like, Scarface has to be a rated R. No fucking duh.
Yeah.
Doesn't he like chainsaw a guy in the beginning of the movie?
I think so.
He chainsaw a guy's like arm off or something in the beginning of the movie, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen Scarface, but like, no fucking duh, dude.
Yeah.
No duh. That's like being like, if Deadpool was anything but
rated R. Yeah.
Rated R. Of course, fucking duh.
Well, I remember that same article came out for fucking Deadpool where they're like, Deadpool's gonna be rated R. It's like, no fucking duh. You can't do Deadpool PG-13. You'll be saying like, poo poo pee pee
like,
and all that kind of like dumbass shit. Oh goodness, I can't believe it.
Speaking of RoboCop, though, there's a prequel series in development, and it's not going to feature RoboCop. It's going to focus on Omni, the company,
I don't know
and the vice president, Dick Jones. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
I don't know why. I just don't know how. I don't know how you can do RoboCop without RoboCop. That doesn't make any sense.
Like, I'm all about. I don't need to know how Detroit falls into madness. It's Detroit. It's believable.
Yeah.
Like, if you're like, oh, we're changing the city to Chicago, I'd be like, okay.
Doesn't make much difference.
Doesn't make a difference. I understand. It's a lot of crime, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a political show, which I don't care.
Yeah.
It's
probably going to be like a House of Cards type of thing. Probably.
It's fucking RoboCop.
Yeah.
What are you going to call the show?
It'll probably center around a thing where it's like they're all trying to fucking be the one that like makes the project of RoboCop a possibility or some fucking
Here's what I bet would happen if the show even gets made. Is that towards the end of the show, the season, or they're going to have a cameo. They're going to be the guy's going to be walking through DPD or whatever the fuck.
Just like Vince McMahon.
The PD's called, yeah, exactly. And then the camera's going to walk past him and it's going to hover at the desk sergeant's desk, and there's going to be a guy booking in a fucking, arrestee, and then he's going to be sitting there filling it out, and you're going to hear fucking, what's his name? Oh my gosh.
I can't remember his name.
It's not Murphy. It's Murphy, but what's his partner's name? Hold on, shit. It's not, I'm trying to remember. Murphy's the girl, but what's his fucking name? Alex?
Is it? I can't remember.
Hold on, cast.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, his name is Murphy. Her name is Lewis. Okay, that's what it was. I knew his name was Murphy. I was confused. I always forgot her name. But he'll be booking in somebody, and you're gonna hear, "Hey Murphy," and he's gonna turn around, huh? And that's gonna be the cameo.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the fucking cameo. I guarantee it.
It's so stupid.
Because you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna have Peter Weller come in and be like a fucking bad guy or something.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't care.
It's gonna be bad. And it's gonna add nothing to the overall RoboCop
universe.
Universe.
Yeah.
What else you got, dude? If anything, nothing else is super important for me.
Last piece of news, Jason.
Okay. Lay it on me.
Speaking of VTubers.
Oh, okay.
We got one!
HoloLive English is coming today. They're premiering today. HoloLive finally decided that they want to try to get on the Western audience. So there's 5 new girls that are debuting today at various points in time. They all look super cute. I like them. Their designs are interesting. They're all based around like myths and legends and stuff like that. So like one of the girls is from Atlantis. One of the girls is like a phoenix. One is like
Hold on. This is the first time I opened this article.
The what?
This is the first time I opened the article you posted. I haven't looked at it yet. This is the
Okay.
I wanted to save it for blind, fresh eyes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm scrolling down this article.
Yeah.
They have fake backstories.
Yeah, they all have. I mean,
It's not just.
They have characterizations.
It is
like,
not
they have,
just
like,
a person. There's backstories.
No, they have like. They're legit like characters. Like they have backstories and they have like personalities and like things that they like put into their VTuber performances.
Okay, Zach. These are gonna be Americans or like Western.
These are they haven't said, but they're definitely gonna be
English speakers.
They're English speakers.
Okay,
100%.
So Westerner people potentially. Okay.
Yes.
Who? Which one are you excited the most to watch?
I think there's 2 that really grabbed my attention first of all.
Okay.
Which the first one was Watson Amelia, because she's like a detective type of character, and that's kind of interesting to me. Her whole backstory is she's like trying to like figure out what's going on with like all of these different like basically all the different HoloLive characters that are like just weird random creatures popping up, and so she's like investigating what's going on. So that's an interesting like kind of character type, and I find that super cute, and I like her design a lot. The other one that was super interesting to me, because also of my mobile game I play, the person that designed one of the characters in that also designed the art for this character, which is Ninome, I think is how you say her name. She's like an elder god basically. She's like possessed by an elder god, so she's got like the Cthulhu like tentacles and stuff like that, and like in her full design she has like a spell book kind of that's like floating around her. So those are the 2 that like really grabbed my attention. But I think they're all cute, and I'll probably give them all a shot. But those are the 2 that like really grabbed my attention.
Yeah, man. I get it, man.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. Oh, can't wait.
Man.
Jason, you told me you saw this with blind eyes. Blind eyes.
Yeah.
If you were to give any of these girls a shot, who would be the one that you would try to tune into?
It would have to be the one who's the Watson character.
Yeah. Okay.
Because she's a human.
Yeah.
The one above her says this is an idol whose dream is to become a fast food shop owner.
Yeah.
She is a phoenix.
Not a turkey. Very important.
I thought, okay, I didn't go this deep into, when you explained this to me last week, I didn't go this deep into it.
Okay.
I thought it was just a person being mocapped or whatever into an anime character.
Yeah.
And that character was just anime. Mm-hmm. Like there was still a person. Like there wasn't like a, an extra layer of character. It was just a person.
Yeah.
So now I know that these characters also have fake, like written, like stories.
They've written I would say written backgrounds. I mean, they're not their streams aren't like scripted or anything like that. But I think they definitely have, they have the basic like character arcs that they can kind of like play off of while they're doing their streams.
But Now knowing this,
Mm-hmm.
I am unsure if I'm less or more creeped out.
Okay.
I don't know which one I am. Because part of me is like, thank Zach, it's more like a show now.
Yeah.
And that makes me happier for you.
Okay.
But then the other part of me is like, just watch a real streamer and be a real simp.
Yeah, but like real streamer girls are fucking greedy and annoying. Like American Western streamer girls, from the ones that I've seen, these girls don't ask for money.
But
People just give them money.
But that's the same fucking thing.
No,
Zach.
because I've seen those clips of those streamer Western bitches who are like screaming at their audience to give them money. That one clip of that girl's like, what was it? She's like, you take time to watch me every week. You don't have time to give me $5. Fuck those kind of people. I hate guys and girls that do that shit. You don't deserve my money. If I like you, I'll give you money. That's how this works. You don't deserve my money.
I completely agree with you in that sentiment. Just find a streamer who doesn't do that.
Maybe.
Like, why does it have to have the anime aspect to it, dude? Like,
I don't know what it is, dude. I think they're cute. I think they have cute designs.
I get it. I don't get it. I don't.
You really don't get it, but it's fine. I don't
get it. It's like my fucking like brain has a wall, and I'm like I just don't understand. Because that video you sent me, this is in our chat, you sent me a video you said it was really cute, and I was like, okay, I'll watch it. See, maybe it'll click with me. And I started watching it, and I was like, I don't get it. And my brain was like, this to me is like a fucking dude sat behind his desk and fucking used Maya 3D program and just made the character just do this. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I understand, like, guys, like, being weird and, like, Perfect Bluey over, like, K-pop stars and, like, J-pop stars and, like, why when, a few weeks ago when Pokemon came out, she had a boyfriend. And the crowd,
I saw that shit.
Oh, the audience was like, you fucking bitch. Like, excuse me. I get that, but I still don't get that because what the fuck do you think is going to happen? Like, you're going to donate money and she's going to be like, oh my God, I love just you. Like,
yeah, you and the 100 other people. I was like, oh, I'll only be in a relationship with you for the rest of my life.
You fucking idiot. That's why I say you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But to me, this is a different level of like. They're not asking for money, which is cool. I appreciate that, and the fact that as a character adds a level of artistry, and I also appreciate that because now it's like it's literally acting.
Yeah.
It just maybe I'm just old, man. Maybe if I was like fucking 15 right now, I'd be like, it would be no like, it'd be like, maybe. Got it.
Maybe.
But maybe I don't know. Maybe I've seen everything in my life that I've seen already, and that's it. Like, that's all it is, man. You know, like
maybe
like AMVs, I get convention videos. I get it. People at conventions who act like a character.
God. So this is making me think, and I've had this thought multiple times, and I know that they already did this, and it makes me kind of upset because I didn't get to go. But it's like between like, you know, just everything going on coronavirus and like I miss cons and I want to go to Japan so fucking bad. Yeah. Like I want to take a boys trip to Japan again. And it makes me sad because I know that like Keelan and Tyler and I think Darren and I don't know if Kyle went with them, but I know that like Tyler and Darren and Keelan all went to Japan as like a trip. And I was like, fuck dude, like I want to go. Like I just want to go somewhere with the boys again. It's been so long.
Yeah.
Since I've like just been around you guys.
Well, the trip, their Japan trip was everyone except for you, me, and Kyle.
Okay.
Shaquille went, and Shaquille's wife went, and Micah went, and Micah's girlfriend went. And yeah, I would have loved to go if I had $4,000.
Yeah, that was the thing at the time. They asked me like I think it was last year when I was still working at PDE, and I had I was making like $700 a paycheck, and I was like, I don't got the kind of money to fucking go to Japan right now. Now I do. Now I could make a trip to Japan.
Even if you ask me now, I'd be like, yeah, I still don't got that kind of money.
Yeah.
You know?
Now I kind of do. I have a little bit more disposable income that like if I knew what was happening, I could like save up and then
Yeah.
be able to have that money.
If I
But yeah,
got
it was
if I
like,
got stimulus check number 2, maybe.
oh my God, that second stimulus. Oh, that's all Japan
That's
money
all
that
Japan
comes.
money, you know.
That's all Japan money.
But that's just going there. It's not even like fig money. That's just going there. It's like I can't,
Yeah, but I mean, the thing about Japan is that like for fig money, I mean, like you go to some places like I would watch like like uh Joey or Gaunt's video again, where it's just like you fucking go to the places they go to. They went to that one secondhand shop where it was like I think it was Connor that went in there and he bought like 20 figs for like $200. And I was like, God
just shows
damn,
a
dude.
shitty fig, dude. I'm going on that website.
No, it was the secondhand store
I'm
where
going
it's like
on.
it's good figs,
I'm
but
going
they're
on
just
the
pre-owned.
secondhand store. I'm on that every day on the website looking for figs,
Yeah.
and they're not that much cheaper.
Mm.
You know,
I mean, some of the good quality stuff. I mean, like I think Gaunt bought one from there, and it was still like $150. But I mean, you can find some good stuff in there that's cheaper.
no, absolutely, compared to for sure, absolutely. But I'm not doubting that. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying like I'm not gonna go in there $200 and think that I'm gonna walk out there and be like I am stacked.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. There's no way. I might be
Right. Yeah.
stacked with like shit figs,
Mm,
but like for
yeah.
like figs and I'm like I want some
Yeah.
banger figs. I'm gonna need like $1,000.
Yeah. That's true.
You
That's
know,
fair.
just to avoid the fucking import fees and shipping fees. But
Yeah.
like then you have to I'm adding in food cost.
Got to bring my whole second suitcase just for
Right.
figs. So.
You know, and like I want to go to Disney really bad. That's
Yeah.
my big one, and like it's easy for you because you live right there.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Well, it used to be easy. Now you got to do like you got to make an appointment and all that kind of shit.
it
It's
makes me
still
mad.
easy.
It makes me mad too because like there are so many toy shops around you that are fucking killer
Yeah.
that you don't even know about.
I know, dude. I don't know, man. I don't. I gotta keep finding. So I
Like
mean, I've
I'm
been trying to do a little
literally,
bit
you
of
need
research.
to.
But...
I'm gonna send you. You gotta watch this one guy who lives in Orlando. You said watch his hunt videos he posts once a week, and
Okay.
he'll go to every shop that you should go to, and
Okay.
show you everything,
Okay.
and you'll be like, okay, or like within the a 40-minute drive of you. So I
Okay.
don't know where you fuck you live in Orlando, but like this
I'm I'm
this
I'm basically downtown,
this
so it's
guy
probably like a
fucking
40
like
minute drive.
he hunts at all these shops, and I'm like, whether it's in Orlando or on the way to Miami or whatever, like
Hmm.
there's enough shit to where if I lived where you live, I would be broke always,
Yeah.
always.
Hmm.
So I'd have great toys and
Yeah.
great figs.
Yeah.
Um, but speaking to wrap up the podcast,
Yes.
Zach, I hope you're able to enjoy some of this Hololive English VTubers debut.
I'll let you know how it is next week.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. And I make a joke out of it, but I really hope you enjoy it. Again, I know it's not for me, but to each their own.
It's not for everybody.
And you know, I hope it's a good time, and I hope that you find a nice waifu, and that one of them is great. And I hope that you can enjoy it. That way, you don't have to watch stupid subs
Yeah.
of one. You can just watch a English speaking one.
Yeah.
And 10 out of 10, I bet that the Sherlock character is British.
Oh, I hope so. I hope she has a British accent.
How sad would you be whenever they do a reveal though, and you see and they're not like as similar to the character?
Not too bad, because I mean, I would say that it's a similar thing to like, just anime voice acting or voice acting in general, where it's just like, all those people, they don't look like the characters that they voice.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't know. That's where my mind goes. So,
Right. No, I get you, man. I get you. Was there any other second date with that girl that you?
Nah. No.
I'm not trying to do it. Oh, sorry. Oh, that was a low blow. I apologize, Zach.
Yeah, it's good.
Guys, is that anything else?
Got another date on Fridays. So.
Hey, just don't mention this.
Hey, I take the Ben Kissel approach, which is
what?
I think it was, I can't remember what episode it was, but it was like Henry started talking about Evangelion.
Oh.
He was like, Ben was like, and I've told Henry repeatedly that this is not first, second, or 15th date topics.
He's not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, you'd be better off talking about true crime than you are talking about Ava.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, Zach, anything else you want to mention before we wrap up the podcast?
No, that's it.
Cool. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
There's a good point.
We'll see you guys back next week on License to View. Thank you for watching.